is the 2017 Jaguar F-Pace 2-litre all-wheel drive, and it's in an R Sport spec. Now, on the road, a basic F-Pace is going to cost you just over £40,000. But this one, with a host of extras, including this ginormous panoramic roof, is going to set you back more like £57,000. Now, that's a lot of money, and in most cases that is a house deposit, but it's pretty much a house on wheels. So the R Sport gives you extra bits and pieces, bigger wheels, R Sport styling, generally just looks a bit nicer. The 2-litre diesel engine gives you 180 PS, and initially I was under the misconception that it was a little bit slow and sluggish. However, that's if you're driving it in eco mode. The second you put it in dynamic, it's a swift and punchy responsive car. However, on the motorway you could do with a bit more top end poke, but it's not to say it's slow, it's just I'm expecting a car of this size to have a 3-litre turbo V6, not a 2-litre 4-pot turbo diesel. Fuel economy is an important thing to know in real world terms of what the vehicle gets. What a manufacturer states is ideal circumstances, usually with minimal load and usually driving at like 45 miles an hour with no gradients or anything. So I kind of do it on everything. So this one is motorway, A road, tiny bits of B road, driving at 70 miles an hour on here, which is about 66, 67 miles an hour calibrated. Some 280 miles in. Fuel economy is decent, between 40 and 45 miles per gallon in heavier traffic. It's comfortable, it's easy to drive. You almost feel like you're not driving it. It's that easy to drive. Inside, it's a quiet and luxurious place with leather surrounding you everywhere. The fantastic new infotainment system is exactly that, fantastic. Self-park works surprisingly well, and the seats are incredibly comfortable, giving you a heated and cooled option, cooled not on this specific spec, and a heated steering wheel, which is just to die for. The heated windscreen means in the morning that even in a really frosty environment, even if you've got a really thick layer of snow or ice on your windscreen, it's gonna come straight off. Now, this specific one also comes with this amazing anti-tailgater device. And by that, I mean the deployable tow bar in the back of the car. Now, you can control it on your infotainment system, or there is a button in the back of the car to do it. Now, the reason I say that is that people these days really like to tailgate. And when you're in stop-start traffic and they're just getting a little bit too close, all you have to do is stop, pop it in neutral or park, which you're going to do in the start-stop traffic anyway, and then press deploy tow bar, and notice how quickly they stop tailgating you. From a passenger comfort point of view, this car also gives you ample headroom, ample legroom, and enough space to fit an umper band into. Rear passengers can have optional TVs in the back with Bluetooth headsets. Otherwise, your front passenger can have the use of the amazing infotainment system where you can split the screen. So what I see is different to what they see. They can be watching a film with their headset, their Bluetooth headset, while I'm sat looking at a sat-nav screen. Speaking of sat-nav screen, you can have it right up on your dash, so that instead of having your gauge cluster saying just RPM, speed, and maybe tyre pressure monitoring, you can completely eradicate that from the situation and only have to see the map and your speedo. And by speedo, just numbers that are clicking along, not an actual numerical normal speedo like that. The boot is extensive with a huge amount of space for all your goodies that you could possibly fit in there, with the impressive fact that it can also take an entire base lengthwise. Instead of me having to say, yeah, I can fit everything in, but the base is going to go on the back seat, this fits it in normally. The automatic tailgate means that as you're coming up and your hands are full, you can just press and hold, up goes the boot, throw everything in, and automatically close it. Keyless entry also helps with everything. Self-park is important, right? Sort of. It is a big vehicle, it is harder to park, but here's me showing you how the system is actually quite good, even with oddly shaped spaces. It does quite well. So now let's go and check out just how close or not close, how it dealt with this very weird sized bay. Well, we're not in the lines, but I don't think this is a size big enough for this car. So as auto park goes, considering the space is the size of the car, it's done well. From a driving perspective, it's quite a positive on the road feel, and in actual fact it's one of the best handling SUVs I've ever driven. The adaptive suspension means that at no point, if you really want to throw this around, are you going to feel it lumbering. You'll feel it's stiff and agile. But in eco mode, equally when you're on a long run and you just want it to soak up the motorway bumps, you can do that too. On back roads, the 2-litre diesel engine really does perform quite well. I'm let down that it doesn't get the figures it says on paper, i.e. not easily. It says you could get 65 miles per gallon, and realistically I could see this getting maybe high 50s if I was driving at 60 miles an hour and I didn't have a full carload of equipment in it. With that full carload in, driving at around 70 miles an hour, you will find yourself getting about 45 to 47 miles per gallon average. Now, considering the size of this vehicle, is that really anything to complain about? And for all the cars I've driven this year, this is the one that kind of stands out, that if you had your 3-car garage, this would be one of them. Because it doesn't just have to be a family wagon. It can have a bit of fun at the weekend. It can take all your friends if you're doing a booze cruise over to Calais and you just want to fill up on equipment in the back. It can do everything you need it to do. And size-wise, yeah, it's not a small car. This is an SUV. It's surprising how quick you get used to the size of this. Having driven nearly 1,000 miles in this car in a week, I discovered just what a fantastic car it is, and just how amazingly well built it is, and just how dailyable it is. And while I would like better fuel economy, you look the other way because you understand it's a bigger SUV, it's a bigger car, and you understand that. This is just a brilliantly well built, well spec'd and well designed car.